One day, while exploring in the Maya region of Fallout 76 near Braxton's medical supplies, we see a Mr. Handy robot near some beehives. This is the start of the event Irrational Fear. As we get closer, we hear him talking to himself.
Come now, Beckham. Surely you can't be so intimidated by a measly insect. It's irrational. Simply irrational. You're made of metal, for goodness sake. What I wouldn't give to be able to override my core programming. Just swallow your fear and get it over with.
This robot is named Beckham, and speaking with Beckham...
Goodness! I thought my sensors were on the fritz. Did Edna send you? Thinking I can't complete a simple task? The nerve of that woman. Thank heavens! Something that's not trying to kill me for once. Don't tell me Edna sent you. This is all her fault, you know. She knows how bees interfere with my efficiency. Oh, heavens! You gave my inner workings quite the start. I take it Edna sent you. That tyrant of a woman. She's not the boss of me. Oh, sir.
Who is Edna?
Oh, the bane of my existence. Always hovering and insisting I do the most dreadful of tasks. Just don't tell her I said that, please.
Good luck. I have to go.
Ah, and I was so hoping you would help.
Alternatively, we could decide to help Beckham. So, talking with him again, we choose I'll lend you a hand.
Hands I have aplenty, but I take your meaning. You see, I've been trying to collect honey from these hives, but the bees, they aren't too keen on sharing. If you don't mind distracting them a bit, I could pay you for your time. Let's get started, shall we?
With that, we are tasked with protecting Beckham as he gathers some honey. There are 3 stages to this event. At each stage, Beckham will gather honey, and we will have to defend him. The first 2 stages will spawn honey beasts, and the last stage will spawn some yaguai. In the first stage, Beckham will move to the first honey gathering spot. As he moves there, he speaks.
This makes nightmares feel like fairy tales. Not that I have nightmares. These creatures could use a lesson in manners. Oh dear. Is that buzzing?
As we move on to the second stage, Beckham will move to the next honey gathering area, and he again speaks.
Well, that's done. Just 2 more to survive. Mother Nature concocts the rudest beasts. Please don't tell me they're back already.
Now we reach the final stage. Beckham again speaks as he moves to the final honey gathering spot.
Down. Just 1 more to go. Why honey? Why not sticks or rocks? Greedy little sods. There's plenty of honey to go around. Harvest complete. And all systems still busy. Your payment, of course.
This event is not one that gets a server notification, so you will need to keep an eye on the map if you want to participate in this event. The rewards are standard event rewards. This is a good event to do though, as it generally is an easy one to complete, as honeybees and yaguai are not hostile to Beckham. It is also a good source for honey, as the hives are able to be looted. So if you need honey, this is the event for you. Beckham has a few things to say after the event is over.
I'm quite certain Edna's sent me here as punishment. Ugh, Edna. I'd rather face the bees. I'll never understand this obsession with honey. Isn't it just bee vomit? These bees must feed on fear. The size of them these days. Just the thought of those nasty bees with their horrid buzzing makes my circuits stand on end. Monstrosities, all of them. Bees, bears, and of course Edna. What I wouldn't give for a real spa day. Nothing like an oil bath to work out all the kinks. It's all in your head, they say. Bees can't harm you, they say. What's next? You're made of metal? I'm not sure what's more puzzling, my apophobia or a horrendous woman like Edna running a spa. It's discrimination, I tell you. Sending a robot to collect honey. I don't have a single program on beekeeping. Bees. Such vile things.
There are some questions that we need to answer though. For one, who is Edna? And why did she send Beckham to harvest honey? Well, to answer those questions, we need to go to the town of Berkeley Springs. On the north side of the town, near the church, is a building that is marked with a blood eagle icon. This location is known as Bloody Frank's. However, prior to the release of Wastelanders, it was also known as the Berkeley Springs Spa. It was originally populated by ghouls, but now we find a gang of blood eagles here. The spa is defended by turrets, and the blood eagles have taken to the rooftops. We will be exploring those rooftops in a future episode, but for now let's focus on the spa. The spa is comprised of 2 floors. The first floor is the reception area and a small pool, which is now filled with the dead. The second floor has several rooms for massage therapy. Connecting the 2 floors is a staircase and a broken down elevator. Inside the elevator is one of the Vault 94 emissaries. I covered Vault 94 in a previous episode, which you can watch here. On the reception desk is a working computer terminal, and reading the terminal, Berkeley Springs Spa, Personal Journals, No Employee Access, February 22nd, 2075. Just received my new Mr. Handy from the delivery company. When I switched it on, it said its name was Z43126, and I should give it a name. I settled on Beckham, the name of a dog I had owned when I was a teenager. The salesman swore it would do the work of 2 or 3 of my regular employees. I hope to God he's right, or else I'm out a lot of cash. I probably should have spent the monies adding a sauna to my spa, but I could really use an extra pair of hands right now. August 6, 2075. One of my customers walked out of the spa without paying today. They said they were unhappy with the level of service they were receiving after Beckham used a loofah instead of the requested pumice scrub. Everything else with their spa visit went perfectly, but one tiny mistake and they blew their top. It really irks me that these upper crust rich blowhards think the world's supposed to be handed to them on a silver platter. Some of us have to work for a living. November 18th, 2075. With honey treatments at spas becoming popular, I decided to add them to my menu. I set up Beckham to collect honey from a few apiaries nearby, but they were charging too much money. Then I tried ordering the stuff by the jar, but it still was too expensive. At the end of the day, I ended up sending Beckham out to look for natural hives in the area. I get all the honey I need, and he doesn't get stung. This is working out perfectly. February 4th, 2076. In the past, I'd offered discounts in slower months like January and February, but this year my costs to run the spa went up, so I had to get rid of the promotion. You've never heard so much complaining in your life. Most of my customers, who, by the way, are quite wealthy by anyone's standards, said they were appalled that I'd try to take advantage of them. They're driving fancy cars and living in mansions, and I'm here just trying to stay in business. Can you believe the nerve? If I had known my clientele would be this petty, I'd have never opened this spa in the first place. May 10th, 2076. Beckham knocked over a tray of lotions today. I don't understand how a robot can be so clumsy. When I called the company, they gave me some ideas on how to calibrate his hover trap, but more importantly, how to modify some of his sensors. Apparently, I can change how Beckham feels about anything. If it's cold, if it's dark, the color of the sky, anything. Since Beckham was being so uncooperative, I decided to test that theory and implant a fear of bees. Should be fun to watch that robot squirm the next time he collects honey. Sometimes it's the little things in life that entertain you the most. So Edna was not very happy with her clients, but who could blame her? They were quite rude. Edna also seemed to take a certain amount of joy in picking on Beckham. This explains his dialogue. It's too bad Beckham is forever stuck with the task of gathering honey, all the while being terrified to do so. In the real world, Berkeley Springs is home to numerous spas, and even though the one we find in the game is not modeled after any of the real-world spas, I believe it was added in to keep it close to the real Berkeley Springs as possible. There is more to see in the rest of the town, but I will cover that in a future episode. Now that we know the full story of Edna and Beckham, I want to hear from you. Have you visited Berkeley Springs or taken part in the event? What were your thoughts on the event? Sound off in the comments below. While you're at it, like, subscribe, and share. As always, I'm just glad you stopped by, and I'll see you in the next one.